When it comes down to getting her to think about you, it really becomes so simple, especially when you start understanding a woman's nature. But some of the things that you guys should be questioning for yourself and having a great answer for when it comes to women is, what are you doing? What are you going to do next? And this is way more important. Who are you with? When she gets to the thinking about you, women want to see that you have ambition, and it's not ambition towards her. Realistically speaking, if there's a potential that you'll be with somebody else and also that you'll move on, you don't care, you won't give her that attention, acknowledgement, then it becomes way more harder to get you off of her mind. And you could have that happen when you know your worth, as you worked on all of that, getting better at it, and also not putting her on a pedestal will always matter. If you do struggle with that, or you find that it's harder to get that to happen, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to practice on it and put in the work as you exercise in the gym, as you exercise your brain. The improvements will show. Keep in mind, she's going to go ahead and leave off and do her own thing. Sometimes they are actually just meeting women online or on a dating site. Whatever your situation is, you're leaving an imprint on her. So the things you say, of course, appearance, first impression, how you continue to talk to her, all these things she's going to pay attention to. And the thing about paying attention to, she wants you to bring that attention to her. So after you leave those 3 questions that I just asked you, what are you going to be able to apply to yourself that's going to be used as your own leverage and to keep yourself having that power dynamic on your side? Are you coming off like you need to talk to her constantly? Are you seeming like you don't have a life, you don't have a job, and you can't actually get other girls, or you're just bored, or you're not motivated? It's the fact that you want it to be included in your life as you get better, and she's gonna most definitely want to be a part of it, and it's gonna be very hard, especially if she gets emotionally attached to you. Go ahead and check out my book that I just dropped. It's called Men's Secrets to Winning Her Over. It includes so much details on what women want, what women desire, how to flirt with her. I have my personal story with an alpha male and a sigma male, how great it went, the great characteristics of them, some of the things that you guys can make sure you could be applying, have confidence with, and so much more other details. If you're struggling in the dating game, or you want to just simply improve your dating game, you can go ahead and get this book by clicking the link down below. And y'all, I have other things such as cold approaching, something you guys can go ahead and master after you guys purchase this book. Click that link. You can always suggest what types of videos you want. Give this video a big thumbs up. I do definitely want to know other types of videos that y'all want to see. And if you want a part 2 at any time, you can let me know. One quick question: what are you really doing with yourself? Do you really feel like there's self-improvement that you need to have and you're struggling in this area? Comment your thoughts on that, and of course your story, because it helps out so many other fellas, and I like reading it, especially when y'all are making self-improvements and didn't go back to somebody that's not good for you. When it comes down to her thinking about you constantly, let's turn it up a bit where it's constantly. It's also because that imprint that you left on her left her thinking when will be the next time y'all will speak. So think about it like this: since your time is supposed to be so precious, a lot of y'all out here are not valuing your time. You're treating it as in like, well, I could just hand it out, or you have the time of the day. How about we look at it as in like, what are you getting from the female, especially the one that you want, right? What are you getting as a treatment that you do not like? So it's kind of vice versa, but it's also because you're so legit, you're so serious, you're supposed to be the real deal. It brings you to really be attentive and careful and watch how much you're giving out. So when I say you're supposed to obviously have things going on, if you don't feel like you found your purpose, go ahead and try an attempt. We all have a purpose, right? How much energy, effort do you put into yourself, like pour into yourself, so the self-improvement can actually come out? If there's not enough going on, you're the one that has to make a change for her. Some of you are too caught up on like, well, if I get around her, if I go ahead and make her feel like I could buy her this, do this for her, or even sometimes it's laying it down correctly, you feel like that's going to steal everything. Now think about it this way as well. That's very important, is that you want to lay down your cards right. So that specifically means when you're dealing with her, how are you specifically dealing with her? In other words, how are you going ahead and coming off in the perfect balance? So yes, you could give her the time of the day when the time is appropriate. There's a difference there. Let's put this really into perspective. If you go ahead and hang out with her afterwards, when you go ahead and get home, the most important thing is just really checking up that she's okay. If she got home good, if she's fine, if you're going to just say good night, have a good rest of the night, if it's going to be not too late in the night, whatever makes sense, but it's really not to start up a whole conversation. Some of y'all are jumping the gun to the point of like, well, I just left, but I don't want it to feel like I just left. This is in the wrong aspect, because there's 2 ways to look at it. The first way is that you just left and you're thinking about, well, I want her to feel like we're still talking. That turns into quickly that she gets bored of actually having that free access to you. The access has to be there only in the sense of it's available, but it can't always happen on her timing. So if she knows that she's going to see you next week on Friday, let it be that, instead of saying, okay, well, I want to see her early, or I actually have time in the week and I can make it be the available time. You should go ahead and use that time to be productive, or use it for any other things that you want to be getting done, instead of the idea of let me move things around, or let me make make her have the chance to see me earlier, or giving her the option that you'll probably never get. Look at it this way as well, especially if she does have a roster list or another guy that she might take serious or go back and forth with, or sometimes some women will like to monkey branch. If she has that going on, and most times we know that's really the case, then you're not going to be a priority. That's already going to be just as simple as that. So if there is free time, if she is not going to be going off to work, or she's going to be called off that day, or she doesn't feel like doing anything, or it's her off day, she could simply still keep you at the end of the week. She looks at it as in like you're not that important for her to have to see you in the beginning. So the other way of her going ahead and feeling like I need to talk to you, the second way, which is the way you want it to be, is that we haven't spoken in a while. Not speaking in a while, that means when she's looking at her phone, where are you at? Where's the text messages? Where's the phone calls? If you're gonna be ignoring, or if there's other stuff that you have going on, it could be about anything self-improvement, back to dating. Consultations are available for that. Book your consultation. Let's get on the line and talk about what's going on with you. Click that link after this video. Instead of it being that you are already giving it to her and then now you're going to the bottom of her list, let's say she's talking to different people, a text log, as many do, right? She'll see you at the bottom, and the concern becomes, how long are you going to stay in the bottom? As time goes on, as time is ticking, it's really trying to get you to come back to the top, reverse things back into, how can I get him to be at the top, but I don't want to do the work. Most women are trying to make it easy for themselves, right? If she doesn't have to go ahead and reach out multiple times, especially if she could be more egotistic or she's more concerned about herself, then that's the last of her priority. She has other things that she much rather worry about. And it's as simple as her physical appearance, improving that. It's as simple as having girl night more than one night. Like, all of these things are more of her concern and what she has enjoyment towards. Now, not to say you guys can't have a fun time, have a great time. Those are other ways, of course, to get her to think about you. You want to bring excitement. You want to be adventurous. You want to go ahead and have other things that won't be the same when she goes ahead and deals with another fella, because that's how you're going to stand out. But don't let that be your main focus. You're as important as being around her and having access when you want to give to her. So cherish your time so much and treat yourself like you are the prize, because you have to ultimately have that already built up. If it seems like she's the number one in your life, or it seems like she's overpowered something that should be way more important in your life, now it becomes, okay, well, you could just be added to her life, but you won't be ever picked as maybe the first guy. And if you are, it's very much temporary. So don't think about like, oh, you're going to be there long term, and don't get excited and have your emotions just available instantly. It's great to obviously mention things that are going to be interesting about you and get to know each other. Keep a limit on that. Some of y'all are not only emotionally invested, but you guys are really trying to get her to know your whole life, your backstory, and it's just giving too much of, okay, I haven't figured out what else do I really need to think about. And of course, being mysterious is always going to matter. Let her guess about you. Let her make those assumptions. And when you have to go ahead and clarify, especially if you go ahead and talk to her for a while, then let that be the case. But you don't have to try to have it be the case, let's say right away. You don't have to try to prove a point, or let's say in other words as well, you don't want to force it with her. Be very focused on what you got to be worried about, opposed to when it comes to her, you got to put this effort in. I don't want her to feel like she's not wanted. I don't want to go too long without talking to her. Like, these things are none of your concern. The less you're giving out, the more she's going to consume on her own, not by you. There's no access as that much. There is trying and attempting to get more of your time. There is also your honor mind so much that you going ahead and being forgotten about is very much difficult. And even if she could play it off like, okay, well, I don't care in this moment, there's going to be a time, whether it's a week later or even a month later, however long it takes, that now it's becoming you have been thought about. And so it's very hard to not say something, and that urge keeps building up. The temptation really gets to her, and now you'll see that message pop up, or you see even a phone call. Depending on how serious she is about you, and depending on what you guys had in the past, sometimes it could be an ex that you had for so long. Sometimes it could be somebody you just met online or maybe in person, and maybe they were dealing with somebody else but now they're not. Really look at your situation, analyze your story. Don't forget to comment your story down below. And that's it for this video. If you still haven't given this video a big thumbs up though, make sure you do that, and don't forget to have your post notification on after subscribing. Bye y'all.
I am in control. I control my thoughts and I think positively.
Sleep affirmations available in the link down below. Walking away is so powerful that you find yourself in the process. But it could also be, oh, she sees that you're going on dates. She sees that you're moved on. No matter how many times you also walk away, and if you keep coming back, it won't have the same value until you walk away and say, I'm going to do it forever. That could come with other jealous feelings of, oh, well, now he has more access to women. Now, walking away also means, what are you walking away from? Are you walking away from being disrespected? You feel that, dang, this person making me feel all types of pain, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but I feel it.